This is Andy Barrett of polyphys.com, introducing an app that pits two AIs against each other. I got the idea for the app while watching my buddy play Civilization. By the way, shout out to Mike Piazza. In the game, you have units that have certain functions, and you tell those units what to do. I thought it'd be interesting if there were a game where this concept were reversed. So instead of specifying what the actions of units should be explicitly, instead you would specify what the values or the instincts of the units are, and then let them behave freely. The problem with this paradigm, which is also why it's interesting, is coming up with a model of behavior that's general enough to encompass all of the sorts of behaviors that you want your units to have, even when they're in very large groups. Obviously, I wanted to look at large groups because the behavior should be more interesting, but at the same time, it means that the model of behavior has to be kept very simple so that it can be applied to many units without requiring too much computation. There are certainly many ways that this could have been done, but this is just my first attempt. So here's what I did. You're the red team competing against the blue team to collect as many pieces of food as possible. Both teams consist of hunter units and gatherer units. The hunter units are the spiky ones. Units of opposite teams will duel when they come into contact. If it's two hunter units or two gathering units, then there's a 50-50 chance. But when a hunter unit duels a gatherer unit, it has an 8 times higher chance of winning. The result of the duel is that the defeated unit will turn into a piece of food. The food pieces are the gray squares. Gather units can use the food to create a new unit of a random type, but this takes a few seconds after contact. Okay, so those are all of the physical rules that pertain to this game, and they'll determine what the optimal AI rules are to win the game. A new rule can be created by clicking the pane on the left. The default rule shows that a gather unit on the red team will be attracted to food units with 50% strength. This is the first type of rule, and it pertains to a force that a unit experiences relative to some other type of unit. Actually, this means that every gather unit on the red team will interact with every piece of food during every frame of this game. And the strength factor that I mentioned determines how short-sighted or far-sighted this interaction is, with lower strength favoring shorter interactions. Finally, you can change the unit types by simply clicking their icons. The second type of rule specifies that a unit will try to stay between two other types of units. You create this from the first type of rule by clicking the leftmost unit icon and dragging it to the right. This allows you to specify the relative distances between the first and second unit and the second and third. The strength can be adjusted the same as in the first type of rule. So let's see what else. You can adjust the scale. This can also be done using the plus and minus key. We can adjust the speed. We can reset the match by pressing the spacebar. And finally, we can pan the playing field by simply dragging. The last feature is this scoring that I've added. I've tried to design a total score that measures success in the way that I originally imagined it. The total score is in white. When you hit the test button, certain controls will be locked, and up to 6 trials or matches will be performed using the current AI rules that you've set. These match scores can be averaged together to produce a score for the round. You then have the option of either editing your rules further, which will destroy this score, or cloning your rules to the enemy team and adding the round score to your total score. In this way, you can try to increase your total score with each round, which obviously will become harder and harder. There are a few factors contributing to the scoring, which you can see in the transparent calculation for the round score. I'll describe what these are for in the video description. Well, that's it for this app introduction. Go to polyphys.com to play with this app and many more. And if you enjoy my work, then please consider making a donation to keep this project growing. This is really a labor of love for me, and I do it to create a community of visual thinkers out of fans like you. So thanks for watching.